Yeah, welcome back to Menopause Made Easy with Tanya, the podcast for anybody in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. And if you want to be a superstar and go into menopause with ease, planting seeds in your 20s and 30s will really help you. I wish I had known this information that I am sharing with you. That's why I'm sharing it with you now. This podcast helps you feel at home in your body, your mind, your spirit, no matter what age you are. And today we are diving into this surprising world of fat. Fat. Fat is not a bad word. Okay, here, I got some fat right here on my triceps. Okay, we need fat. Okay, we need fat on our bum. We need fat to protect us. I used to teach workshops called fat chats. Let's not demonize this word. Okay, we're going to talk about white fat versus brown fat and how one of them might actually help you burn more calories, regulate your blood sugar, and help you stay energized at any age, and particularly when you are post-menopausal. All right, we're going to compare two women with very different fat profiles. We'll explore their lifestyle habits, what differences they have. See if you can see yourself in them. I love doing these comparisons because it really helps you to see whether you decide to do something or not. Okay, so we're going to talk about what is white and brown fat, like what are they? We're going to meet Linda and Karen and do a little fat comparison. We're going to talk about how do you know what type of fat you have, how to boost your brown fat and turn white fat beige. Ooh, very interesting. We're going to talk about a few fringe practices because I like to do things that are kind of quirky and fun. And then we're going to do a little brown fat booster plan for the week. All right, so that is what we are going to focus on today. What is brown or white fat versus brown fat? We all think that fat is pretty much the same. There's visceral fat, subcutaneous fat. I've done lots of episodes on that. Okay, today we're going to talk about two main types of fat. And white fat stores energy. It's jiggly, squishy. It's around your belly, your thighs, your arms. It releases hormones like leptin, which I have done a podcast interview on. Too much white fat, especially around your belly, is linked to insulin resistance, inflammation, and chronic disease. Insulin resistance is wreaking havoc on many. The majority of the population. It's getting in our eyes, our brain, our teeth, our heart, our joints, our cells. I mean, seriously, I've done so many episodes on this. It is a sneaky SOB. We really need to smarten up, I say. All right, so I'm still working on it. I don't have it. I'm going to talk about my blood test coming up in some episode. But anyway, okay, so white fat stores energy. It's jiggly. Okay, it releases hormones. Too much of it around our belly causes insulin resistance, inflammation, and chronic disease. Brown fat is metabolically active. It actually burns calories to produce heat. It's loaded with mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells, those little engines. It helps regulate blood sugar, improve insulin sensitivity, and even boosts your mood and energy. Oh my gosh, it's so powerful. There's also a third type. It's called beige fat, which is basically brown or white fat that can be converted into brown fat, and we'll talk more about that. Okay, so meet Linda and Karen, the fat comparison. They're both postmenopausal. Doesn't matter. Okay, you could be any age, but I'm going to do two postmenopausal women. They weigh about the same, which is about 145 pounds. But as you know from listening to me, I really don't care about what the scale says. It's one number. Okay. but their body composition, which I really care about, and your lifestyle, which I really care about, are completely different. So Linda has more brown fat. Linda walks outside every morning, even in the winter, to get that sunlight and some exercise. She lifts weight 3 times a week, does cold showers just at the end, not freezing, just a little cold at the end, a couple of times a week. She eats a pretty much whole food, high protein diet with lots of omega-3s and some fermented foods. She sleeps according to her light dark cycles, okay, which, you know what, I'm just going to say this, but I could go off on a tangent, but she gets about 7.5 hours of sleep a night. She avoids night snacking, late night snacking, and screen binging before bed. All right, I've done so many episodes on this, so you can go back and listen to those. She likes wearing blue blocking glasses after dinner, and her body fat is about 26%, with more brown fat activity around her neck, collar bones, and back. So you would have to go and get tested for this. I don't know where you go, okay? But these are the areas that it is in your body more. I'm not going to say anything. She reports having consistent energy, rarely gets sick, and has stable blood sugars. Okay, which I told you you need to go get your fasting insulin, fasting glucose, and HbA1c numbers, along with some other blood tests if you haven't done them. I don't know why you haven't done them, but schedule them. Karen has more white fat. She exercises occasionally indoors, avoids going outside because it's wet, it's cold, it's hot, it's rainy, it's sticky. Okay. She watches TV after dinner. She scrolls her phone in bed. Her diet includes a little too much processed food. It's low in protein. She's got a lot of high sugar in her diet, a lot of added sugar. If you haven't done my added sugar detox, it's a great place to start. She does not sleep well. She often wakes up. She's lucky if she gets 6 hours of sleep a night. She has frequent fatigue during the day, some joint pain. She's insulin resistant. Her body fat is over 34, 35%. And she has a lot of the white fat stored around her belly. Okay, so that's why I was talking about the difference between that brown fat is deeper into the neck, collarbone, upper back area. Okay, so white fat around the belly. Now, even though these ladies weigh the same, they're exactly the same age, Linda's lifestyle choices promote brown fat activation, better metabolic health, more mitochondrial activity, which translates to fat burning, resilience, and vitality. So, how do we know what type of fat we have? You might be wondering, how can I tell what kind of fat I have? Here's the truth, there's no easy at-home test. This is why I was like thinking about this earlier, right? But there are clues. And I'm sure you can pick up some of the clues from my two ladies that I was chatting about. Brown fat tends to be concentrated in small pockets. And it doesn't mean you have a fat neck or a fat upper back or collarbone, okay? But those are the areas that it tends to be in. And it's more prevalent in leaner, more metabolically healthy people. And it tends to decrease with age, which is sad, unless you're doing something to activate it, which lifestyle choices are huge, ladies. Okay, signs of excess white fat include belly fat gain. Okay, pinch around your belly. How much can you grab? Fatigue, sugar cravings, and inflammation. And you can go get scans and stuff like this, but they're not worth it. I mean, honestly, you can just pretty much look at yourself, be very honest with yourself, and you can say, yes, I'm heading in the direction to vibrant health, or no, I am not. And then you can decide, do you want to change it? Okay, so you don't need to go get a test. You can just look at your body, pinch yourself, notice where your fat is, make friends with it. It's there for a reason. Remember, it's taking all the toxins, because unless you've done some work at cleaning up the toxins in your lifestyle, which I've done episodes, you can go listen to those. They reside in your fat cell to protect you. That's why fat is not necessarily bad. So how do we boost brown fat and turn white fat into beige fat? This is exciting because this means you are the CEO of your own health and you can be empowered to change. So you can stimulate brown fat and convert some of that white fat to beige fat through specific lifestyle interventions, which I'm going to share with you right now. All right, so there's this whole thing about cold exposure. Is it right for you? Is it not right for you? I don't know. Try it out. See how you feel. You don't have to go extreme cold. I do not. I do not like the cold. I experiment with some cold things, not very often. It's not on the top of my list, but I'm going to share all the things that I have looked into, and you decide what you want to do. Okay? Brown fat is activated by cold. So you can try some cold showers, some face plunges. Like sometimes I will just put a very cold face cloth on my face, which has helped. Or when it's cold outside, go outside and just get cold, which is really easy to do where we live. Okay, 11 minutes of cold exposure a week in short bursts has been shown to boost brown fat activity. That's 11 minutes a week. That is not a big ask, everybody. All right, so like 2 minutes a day gives you 14 minutes a week. Go outside. It might, listen, sometimes 15 seconds outside with some, not jackets on can be enough. So you decide. Strength training and HIIT. So this is where I would say I spend a majority of my time here. This increases a hormone which turns white fat to beige. Okay. And resistance training and short bursts of high intensity activity help both with this activation of brown fat and white to beige. Mitochondrial supportive foods. So eat foods that fuel your mitochondria. This can include some wild salmon, sardines, farm fresh eggs, avocados, coconut oil, fermented foods for your gut health. Remember that gut-brain axis here. Polyphenol-rich foods like blueberries, green tea, dark chocolate. Are you getting those in your diet? Remember, do it seasonally. Listen to my episode on that. Get bright morning light, which I have done copious amounts of episodes on, because brown fat is tied to your circadian rhythm. 10 minutes of outdoor sunlight in the morning helps regulate your metabolism and your metabolic hormones, and your melatonin. And this helps to influence brown fat activity. Get outside in the morning. All right. I have been doing this for about 2 years now, and I can feel the subtle shifts in my body. You want to aim for about 7 to 9 hours. Oh, sorry. So that's bright light, bright light. Okay, now we're going to go into sleep and fasting. Sleep, aiming for 7 to 9 hours of deep restorative sleep so that your mitochondria can repair and regenerate. Oh, I've done a lot of episodes on sleep. I have found some really fascinating information that I will share with you at another date. I just want to try and stay focused because I tend to go on a lot of tangents. And brown fat activation improves with intermittent fasting. Okay, so try eating in a 10-hour window. Then can you make it 10 and a half, 11, 11 and a half, 12? Play around with it. In my Midlife Reboot program, which is going to open up again in January, we do fasting. And again, you can try it, not try it, lengthen it by half an hour. Every little bit helps, okay? It's not about starving yourself. And I've done lots of episodes on fasting. Now let's talk about a couple fringe things, because this is kind of the stuff when you've nailed down all the other stuff, you're like, okay, what else can I do? Now you should see the red light devices I have. I've got one on my feet right now. I have a mat. I have a face thing. I have ears, lymph, mouth. I have red light. I have been experimenting with red light for years. I have an infrared sauna that we've had years and years and years and years. Okay, so shown in some studies to support mitochondrial function and fat browning. So, do you have red lights? I actually have not done a specific episode on red light, but I will because I like to play around with it first and formulate and blah, blah, blah in my head. And I wanted to do sunlight first because it's free to everybody. Okay, and there is red light and infrared light in the sun, which we need that morning and evening sun. Breath work and cold. So if you have heard of Wim Hof, he is like, wow, check him out. Um, he does a lot of cold plunging, a lot of breath work, and this can help stimulate brown fat. Berberine and some other supplements can support mitochondrial health. Again, I'm not huge into supplements. I would say you need to do your food first. Supplements are to supplement a good diet, not supplement a bad diet, but those can help with your blood sugar levels. You know what? I'm not going to talk about this one yet. I wrote it down, but I haven't done an episode to preempt this because it's still controversial. And so I want to do a bit more homework. Okay, I had made a note to myself, sorry. And then melatonin. So melatonin you can get from early morning sun. I'm not talking about taking melatonin tablets, okay? But you can learn to use the sun to increase your levels of melatonin. I would prefer you do that instead of taking a pill, but you're you and you can decide what you want to do. What would be a quick brown fat booster plan for your week? And I think I might attach this into a little PDF for you. I will decide. So look at the show notes and see if I put it in there. If not, here is a little reset that you can do. So in the morning, you wake up, you go outside, you get natural light with your eyeballs, no glasses, no contacts, brush your teeth, dry brush, stretch, do something outside. Again, it gets more challenging. We're into November now, and it can get chilly and harder to do, but do what you can. No, you cannot stand inside and look through your window. No, you must go outside. You could do some cold splashing on your face or just end your shower with some cold water and then focus on a breakfast that's high protein, eggs. You know protein. I've done this a gazillion times. You can pick up my protein breakfast. Go to my website, vibrantlivingwithtanya.com. You'll see it there. If you don't, ask me for it. In the midday, start strength training. Okay, I tend to do most of my workouts are all 7:30 to noon. After that, I am done. I'm not exercising that whole time, but that's my preferred time to move my body. So strength training, 5 minutes. In my Vibrant Living Academy, I have a beginner start here program. It is excellent. I highly recommend it. Come in for a month of Vibrant Living Academy, try it out, then you can leave or you can stay. My gosh, it is a treasure trove of classes in there. Stay hydrated throughout the day, maybe add some sea salt, some mineral salt, some LMNT to your water. LMNT, I believe, is a sponsor, not a sponsor, but it's one of the products that I use. You can get the code below in my show notes. And then in the evening, stop eating 3 hours before bed. These aren't hard, right? I've talked about these before. Maybe you get yourself a pair of blue blockers after sunset because it is getting dark. It's very dark earlier compared to summertime. So your light routine really changes in the winter. And then at nighttime, start to do some herbal teas instead of nighttime snacking, some stretching, some rolling, some blocking. All right. So those things can really help move your lifestyle towards accumulating some brown fat and getting rid of some white fat. So fat is not the enemy. It's not the enemy, okay? Your fat is there for a reason. Do you want to decrease your fat? Do you want to see if you can change some of your fat? It's up to you. It's up to you with what you do. Seriously, that's how much power you have. Brown fat is your ally. It burns energy. balances your blood sugars, helps you feel more resilient. And I've shown you through Linda and Karen that the choices you make can impact whether you have these different types of fats. All right. You get to choose how much sunlight you get. Do you want some cold? Do you want some protein? You can literally change the type of fat you are carrying. Lift the weights. Join my Vibrant Living Academy. Oh my gosh. Like I said, treasure trove. The link is in the show notes. It is a economical way to get inside my life. When I am teaching classes, I am dropping truth bombs in some of those classes, and it could change your life. All right. It's never too late to change your body. Ever. You're never too old. You're never too young. You're never too anything to change your body from the inside out. So let's see if we can get some more brown fat on your body and know that you can. Know that you can. So we're kicking off November, really focusing on fat, loving our fat, getting a little more education about our fat. You can definitely go check out some previous episodes on sleep, on fasting, intermittent fasting, sugar burner versus a fat burner. Okay. Make friends with your fat. There's lots of episodes on toxins, how to get the toxins out of your fat, okay, to shrink those fat cells. I have done so many episodes, so check those out. And if today's episode sparks something for you, please share it with a friend, a family member. Subscribe to my podcast, leave a review if it's in your heart. It's free to do that. At the bare minimum, if you could give me a 5-star review, that would be super helpful, and like my podcast. And if I do a reset, I will put it in the show notes for you. All right. So until next time, stay curious, stay committed, keep making this midlife transition into postmenopause easy, one step at a time. Thanks, ladies.